morning, everybody. It's Momin at Momin's Art, and today class is about again it's a landscape watercolor class. As we are working, today is the fourth class, and there will be four more classes in the same uh, program. So these are online classes. So basically, today I will be do a demo in a watercolor landscape. Plus, today video I will be explaining some the basic washes. Basically, I see a lot of people is still not very comfortable with the basic washes, right? So I will be discuss a little bit about the how to render basic washes in watercolor and how to control the light. Basically those two things. I'm not talking about the proportions and drawing and everything, because that's another next video I will be talking about that. Okay, so let's start the class with the let me get this first thing first. Let me remove all these brushes from here. Maybe I will explain a little bit about the brush strokes too, like how to certain brushes, how to use it, and brush strokes and everything. But it's not the topic of the class today. So this is I use a Fabriano watercolor paper. This is 120 pound. Let me explain a little bit. So just the basic stuff. Maybe some people they know already, but I want to repeat that because this class is for the beginners and the intermediate, right, level. So let me check the live feed on my class. Give me 1 second. I want to check everything is fine. Uh, okay, everything is good. Thank you. Now this this paper, usually you can get a paper in a block. I explained in a previous video. You can go and watch the other videos also about the paper and about how to prime the paper, how to use the paper. So this is the basically that's a block, right? That's called a watercolor block, and this is all glued. Like you can tell on the side, it's all glued. Those that paper cut on the certain side, right here, right? It's a hundred. Make sure whenever you buy a watercolor paper and you are starting a watercolor, so paper is the most important. If you don't have a good paper, then it will be a little bit challenge for you to learn how to do watercolor. So the paper is the most important first, right? And then you go get the decent colors, the pigment, and some decent brushes, right? You don't need to spend so much money on the brushes. Also, get but the paper and the color are the most important, and the third thing is the brushes also. So if you have a decent supplies, then you will progress. You can see your progress right away, within few weeks. But if you don't have a proper watercolor paper and the brushes and the color, it will be a little bit challenge for you to your process. Basically is gonna get longer, like you will understand the washes and everything. It'll take some time. So anyway, this is the block, and let me show you one more thing, how to detach. So these blocks has a little bit opening here, right? So a lot of people ask me like how to open these paper, right? And they ripped it off. So get this envelope opener, right? If you have handy, or you can buy it one from the store. Sometimes these blocks give you a tool, so you can take out the paper. But if you don't have it, then you can use this and then just detach the paper from the block like that. and and when you finish the painting, you just don't use it right away because the paper is wet and you can rip the painting off very easily. So here is now I use this like a paper envelope opener knife, and now the paper is detached. Now see the glue. If I take it out, let me just take it off carefully. I don't want to rip the paper off. So just here, let me put on the screen so you guys can see what is this. This is you can buy from Amazon. It's a basic Academy watercolor paper, right? Let's put this away. So now I have is away from the block, right? Like now it's kind of a loose sheet. So what I will do, instead of painting loose, I will get a masking tape. This is a 1/2 inch masking tape, and I will put this on the plastic board. So this is a plastic board, very light. You can see that the corrugated plastic board, and you put this on. This is very good board, right? This is a plastic, so if you spill the water on it, it won't damage the and it's very light. It's very light. You don't, if you want to pick it up, it won't strain your hands or whatever, right? So let's put this paper on this plastic piece, board, whatever you call. I use my knife to cut this. I'm kind of a little bit don't like to rip the tape off, but it's no matter, it doesn't matter. And I will put one here, right? Okay, I have to see where my dryer is. Now one more, right? And one more here. So that's how you prevent the your basically your paper. If it comes out from the block, then you can go and put it here like this, and then it will secure. It's not gonna buckle up too much, and it won't layer too much. So at this point you can go. Let me plug my dryer, also hair dryer, so we can do some uh, I'll show you how to prime the paper. So okay, let's put the dryer here. So now the let me grab the brush also. Okay, so now I will take some water, right? If you want to prime the paper, you can prime the paper. I don't prime my paper. Usually I just start painting right away. You can prime the paper. You can just get the water like this, like a water, and you just put it on the paper. Not too much, not just soak the paper all the way down. And now the paper is all into there's a water on the top, right? And let's leave the brush here. So I can you can leave the paper on the room temperature for like hour or two, whatever time it takes to dry, right? But because since we don't have a time, I'm gonna use the hair dryer and dry the paper. So because I want to do some painting, and I'll show you some washes and how to render a basic painting. So let's get this dry quickly. Okay, so now see that paper is dry now. If you leave it on, like I said, room temperature, it'll take some time and it will dry eventually, and then you can draw whatever. So I will grab a nice, I mean like that tape again, and show you. Actually, let's do some on the block itself. We're gonna do a painting here, so I'll take this off from here for the time being, and I will grab a paper here, a loose sheet. Oh, you know what? Let's do it here because same paper we're using today. So let's do some. So washes are the most important. Now let's talk about wash, and then I will talk about some. Let me zoom in a little bit. Oops. Oh, oh. Here, zoom in. So let's talk about a little bit about the washes, right? When you have a paper, I would take a bigger paper, and then you divide into the put some tape like that, right? Tape here, right? Tape here. Okay, now I will perform some washes, right? Like get some water, okay, and I will use cadmium or cadmium red today for the basic wash. Now you put some color here on the top, right? On the top, I'm using a cadmium red, very red color, very shocking red. Now see that I didn't put any water or anything on the paper. So what I do, I just go. This is I'm working on the flat wash. I'm not working, this is called a flat wash. It's not a gradient wash or anything. It's just a straight flat wash. So I go down, I spread the pigment evenly on the paper. You don't need to work too hard, right? You just go and just drag the your brush across the paper and just leave it. So that's how you do a very even type of wash. Now this is an even wash. Now let's do a gradient wash. I put a little bit more pigment here on the top of the paper, right? And I will go perform the same thing. This time I will put more pigment on the top like this, right? And I will go and clean my brush, right? So I will take out whatever the pigment left in the brush. I will take it out. Let me just bring the water. You know what? Let's take the, because a lot of people have problem how much water, and so I see that I take out the water. Get some paper towel. I am gonna take out the moisture from the brush also. Now the brush has some pigment. I mean, the pigment is gone, but has some water in it. I purposely left, so I need it here on the paper on this wash. So now I will push some of the pigment from here and bring it down. At the same time, you push your brush against the paper, so, take out the moisture. Then you just go clean your brush, make sure your brush is clean, and then take out some moisture, and there you go. So that's, and better yet, you go tilt the paper a little bit, like tilt it and let the wash run, because I didn't tilt it. Otherwise this wash will be gradient wash also, or maybe because it some moisture gone out of this wash, so I'm okay here. And now, if you can see the pigment on the top, I put it is traveling down, so it create a nice effect of a gradient wash. So this is how you do a gradient wash, right? Basic watercolor washes, and this is like a flat wash. This is a gradient wash. Now let's do a blending. That's again, I put a nice cadmium red on the top. Just a little bit here. I have enough moisture. I just picked it up a little bit cadmium red. Let me just take this off from here so you can see my palette, what I am taking out of my palette. So I put a little bit cadmium red, right? Let's put some more cadmium red. We're gonna mix some colors here. So, and I put it down. I stop the wash. Now I didn't put any water or anything, just a patch of red, and I clean my brush. Make sure your brush is all clean before you get the second color. So I will pick up some French ultramarine blue. I use this color all the time. I like this color. French ultramarine is a beautiful color. I will get some French ultramarine and I will put some here and let this color just don't go too much. Just go at the edge and leave it there. So what happened? It will mix or by itself to the in a cadmium red, right? And then you just put it here. Take all the moisture out of the brush. Make sure your brush is well soaked, and then you put a little bit here and stop this wash going here. So whatever is going into the cadmium red is fine, right? So let me put some more French ultramarine here. Let's get some more. Let it bleed into the red. Oh, something, the hair of the brush is kind of there. Sometimes you have a dust or something on the paper. Let's pick it up. Oops, it's still there. Oh my God, so hard to take it off. Anyway, so here, let's put some more. If you made a mistake or something, it's still, you can go back because the paper is still wet, so you can fix it, right? But once the paper is dry, then it's really hard for you to fix it because it's gonna build some cauliflower. Let's grab my more here. Clean the brush, make sure the brush is clean. Now see that the in between the cadmium red and French ultramarine blue is kind of a little bit brownish type of gray color. So don't forget the blue color you cannot mix, right? Red color you cannot mix. These are primary colors. So now this here in the blending part where the border is, and the color is becoming the secondary color, which is the kind of a brown, a grayish brown color, right? And or you can say it's kind of a brownish purple color because the French ultramarine is more like a warm blue color, right? Now I have here, I will put now cadmium yellow here. I have a nice cadmium yellow in my palette. So I will put some cadmium yellow and let it bleed into the French ultramarine. Here, let's put some more cadmium yellow here at the edge. And I will make sure my brush is very clean, otherwise it will go back. If I go back into cadmium yellow, it will create some problem for me in into the my pigment will be. So here, let's put some more. Let's get some more here. Let it go. See, some cadmium red, it travels down and it coming here, so it create a nice purple color here also. And let's get this more, get into the French ultramarine. The good thing about the French ultramarine, sometimes people when they're working on the sky or something, if you put a French ultramarine, what happen? It doesn't make when you mix with the yellow ochre or cadmium yellow, it don't turn into the green color. So because of the warm, right? It's the characteristic of the French ultramarine is like more warm blue. So let's say if I put a Prussian blue instead of French ultramarine, I'm just gonna add a Prussian blue here. Let's get some Prussian blue, right? Let's put some Prussian blue instead of, I will just add some Prussian blue on the top of the French ultramarine. Let's put some more. Let's get this into the cadmium red and cadmium yellow. Let's clean my brush because Prussian blue is a staining color, and you don't need this into your brush. Make sure your brush is very dry before you. I have a habit. I always make sure my brushes are dry before I lay down on a palette or something. So you know when you start using your brush, it automatically program for you that once you dry the brush, you leave it here, you know the brush is dry. It doesn't have a lot of moisture in it. So that's what I do. Whenever I'm not using the brush, I make sure my brush is uh, all the water or the moisture is gone, and then I put it back into the palette. So see that now. Let me just make a closer look what happening here. So these washes are still working. Basically, the Prussian blue try to get into the cadmium red here. Prussian blue try to get into the mixture, basically the mix of the French ultramarine and the Prussian blue. It try to get into the cadmium yellow, and it creating a nice effect. And let me just more closer. So here you guys can see. So this is how you mix colors, wet into wet. So now see that wash is dry. If I put another layer, then this will be dry or wet on dry, right? This is was a wet into wet. You can get you can dry this, and then you can put another layer on it, which more I would call, it's called a glazing also. But that's how you layer up, right? Let me grab my smaller brush so I can show you. So let's put a green color here, right? I put a green color. Let me just zoom out a little bit, sorry. Today I just want to explain because a lot of people are not comfortable with the washes. So I put a green, right? And I'll take some French ultramarine. Let's get this here. There you go. So that's how you work with the different pigment, and you see what happening here, right? Here is the green color, right? Here is the French ultramarine on the border, and in the middle it mixing up, basically it mixing up. So that's how you mix color, right? And you see what's going on with this. If I mix a green color, which is a, I have a, this is a, I think it's a sap green. And what happened when it mixed with the French ultramarine? So this is what happening. And you can tell that what type of color is mixed. But you will have a green color, which is a sap green here, and here on the edges is a French ultramarine. Okay. If you mix too much color, right? Like if I go put some more French ultramarine, that's what happened with people, and their painting get a little bit muddy and change the colors. So if I bring this French ultramarine here, mixing too much color and try to get the washes what you need. So here, if I keep working and working and working on this wash, this will become kind of a little bit dirty green color because the French ultramarine has a little bit red shade. It's a warm blue, and there you go. So you can tell like it changed the consistency of the color, and by mixing a French ultramarine and a sap green, it become it's not bad, actually it's not bad, but you don't have that, the look of the green color is gone and the French ultramarine died down. Like both are now, it's because you're mixing too much. If you mix too much color, like see like that, if I start mixing more, let's make something out of here. Let's make a pot or something. Let's put some more French ultramarine into the green color. So this is what happening here when the watercolor it get dirty. So okay, so let's move on. I don't want to here, peel off the tape after you finish experimenting these washes, and you got a nice separation. So you can look, right? You can write it down on what you did here. Just a little bit notes here on right here. You can see this is a cadmium yellow you put, cad yellow, uh, Prussian blue, and plus French ultramarine, and this is a straight cadmium red. And this is the cadmium red. This is the cadmium red. I just call it cad red. Quick. So you make yourself a little bit notes, and then you can tell later on. See, when the washes are stop working and the blending is stop here, the gradient wash is stop, and the flat wash you achieve. So you just put flat wash here with the cadmium red, right? You mark here the gradient wash or graded wash or whatever you call graded wash, and then blending colors here, blending colors. Now later on you can study like what you did, right? Okay, let's take this off. I don't want this on my block, and we're going to start working on something else. So see, this is still wet, right? Like I have to be a little bit careful. Let's zoom out a little bit. There you go. So I can go very careful. You don't want to rip the paper off because it's still paper has a moisture in it. So here and done. So this is now loose from the block, and here let me just zoom in so you can see. All right, so let's take this off. Let's put it this. I hope you understand the different type of washes and right, and how to control, how to mix and everything. Now let's talk about a little bit light, and let's get this other paper. This is a Fabriano paper, rough cold press, 100% cotton. That's what you have to look for. You need a, let me just grab my sketchbook and let's get this here. So you need 100% cotton, cold press, and has to be any brand. If you, I prefer Fabriano, which I know the paper, how the paper works, and how much water and this type of stuff between the layers, how much time it takes to dry and all that. So I use most of the time this brand. That's Fabriano. And cold press 100, and a smaller painting. If you're working on a big painting like a 22 by 30 or 15 by 30 sheet, then you need to go with the let's get here 30-inch, 15 by 30, 22 by 30, whatever. If you have a 22 by 30 sheet and you make it four corners, right, like one here, then you can go with the 120 pound. It's fine. 120 pound paper is more than enough to, but if you go half sheet, then I would recommend work on the 200-pound paper. It just is less, you can abuse the paper. You can put more water on it, and if you're working on the full sheet, then I would recommend go to 300-pound paper. Okay, so let's get this stop here, and I will talk about a little bit about the light. Now let's talk about the light, since we are here in the that part of the class. So anything, let's say I put some sketch here, right? Maybe a circle. This is just a shape. It's nothing else, just a shape, right? But what I do, soon as you expose to this and you project the light on it from here, then it becomes a art form. It becomes a little bit, not a little bit. It becomes a art form, and then it will cast some shadow like that. There you go. That's what this is what the light is. If you understand the light, how the light work, it creates some highlight here, and the I explain so many times because this is very important, and you can do same thing in the watercolor also. Let me grab my brush if I can here. Let's get some cadmium red again. Okay, if I put a same thing, right? Let's put it here. Let's get the highlight of the paper. Paper white will be my highlight. I don't want to put a white. This is how you keep the transparency of the watercolor in a watercolor. Just use the paper white and get some more cadmium red. Put right on the edge of the sphere or ball, whatever you try to draw. And what happened? It create a nice depth. So controlling the light. So here I'm done with this part. Now, if you want to make a more realistic, then you can go pick up the color from here, the edge of this, because the wash is still wet, right? You're not gonna make a cauliflower here. So here I can make this very soft, the highlight like this, and I will pick up some Payne's gray or lamp black, whatever color you have in your palette, and then you just put a little bit on the edge of this the color, the cadmium red. What happened? The cadmium red can go so much red, but if you want to make a cadmium red more darker, then you get the help from the Payne's gray, or you can get a lamp black or something. You can change the consistency of the color like that. So here, now I can go grab some more cadmium red, let it mix into the, whatever we did in right now on a previous page, like how to mix colors. So now I will put some more cadmium red, let it mix into the Payne's gray, and I will put some here on the edge of the, because I will explain this what it is. Actually, I put some cadmium red up here instead of using the dark color, dark cadmium red. Let's get this highlight here. I will do a demo, promise, because I just want to make sure that you guys understand what this all about, the light, how to mix color, how to blend colors. Now, see, it's a very good example to how you blend colors, how to control the light. Everything is one small piece, right? You don't need to draw a big painting to learn everything. I'll clean my brush. Make sure you clean your brush before you go back into the pigment. If you, even though I'm using a cadmium red, but I'm still washing my brush, make a habit so you don't contaminate the other pigment with the other color. Here, let's make it more precise. I'll put a little bit dark, more cadmium red at the edges so I can get more depth into this sphere. Here, there you go. So now look at this. I have a nice even wash, right? And a little bit, if you want, you can go grab some Payne's gray and you can put right on the edges also, but make sure that you don't put too much. Take out some color, and then you can put right here at the edge also. Just a little bit, not too much, otherwise what happen, it will turn into dark color, and then you don't need that, right? There you go. So nice and even washes, blending here with the Payne's gray with the dark color, right? And I have a nice sphere. Same thing what I did here into the with the pencil. I got it here with the watercolor. Not, I didn't sketch anything. I just make a circle like this quickly. You can do that also. You don't want to go too big. If the light is, let's say, coming from here, then you keep the highlight here. I hope, yeah, It's on the screen. You put the highlight here because of the shape, right? If this is a different shape, let's say if this is a cone, right? This is a cone or glass bottle or something. This highlight will be like that. So it's all depend what type of shape are you dealing in. So if it is a, let's say is a pylon or cone sitting on the or anything, like a metal cone, and it reflect the light. So that's how the highlight will be on this cone, uh, whatever the shape and whatever the surface is too, right? If the surface is shiny, then it will reflect some light and it create a nice highlight like that. So that's how the highlight works on the different objects in a different surface there. And I'll get some Payne's gray, put some Payne's gray here, more Payne's gray. Sorry, I'm just because of the class, I'm kind of in a rush. So I always clean my brush and go back into the, but since we're using a Payne's gray, it's not a big deal. And here, I'll put some dark value here and some dark value here on this side. If you put too much, you think, okay, you can just go get a nice clean water, and smudge it, create some soft edges like that. And maybe here also bring down this. There you go. Now you go grab some Payne's gray again and create the highlight. So highlight will be for this, the shadow, the casting shadow. There you go. So, right? And it's sitting here on the table or something. You can go create some. And then the pylon or the cone will be a casting shadow also. This will be the casting shadow of the cone. And I will put some more dark value here because the less light is going into the certain part of this painting. So here it will be a darker, and then as soon as you get extended, it will get lighter and lighter. And I will put some more dark value here like that. There you go. So that's how you control the washes, how to blend colors, right? Within the and how to leave the white of the paper to create a effect that what shape of you dealing in. Let me smudge it a little bit, get a soft edge so it'll create more illusion of the highlight. Now here, this one is left, so light is coming from here. Now I'm gonna go create the shadow. Let's put some dark value here. I will explain one more thing, which is some people ask sometimes, like they are more curious, like what's going on and why this is light, this is dark. So I will explain something quickly. Now let's see if this sphere is sitting here, right? And it's here. The shadow will be going here somewhere. I don't want to disturb this, but so this shadow will be extended probably here. Let's get some more water and it'll be here somewhere, ending here. Okay, so this is how you control the washing. Make the color more darker by just adding a Payne's gray or any color. You can use a blue color also to make this cadmium red more darker. I can use the dark color like a blue color, and I can put some blue color here because once it's mixed with the blue color, the cadmium red, it turned into a little bit, it turned into purple, which is the secondary color, which is fine. Or you can use the Payne's gray or whatever. Now, see this here? Let me just zoom in a little bit. I want to explain something quickly, and then we'll go to the demo of the watercolor, the landscape. Here, Let's go more closer look. There you go. So you see that I put some cadmium red at the end, right? Like just put a little bit, like pure cadmium red at the edge of this sphere. So some light, if I express, see some light going here, and it goes here, and light reflect, right? It reflect. That's how you get a reflection here. I mean, a highlight here. But some light goes on the surface where they are sitting, right? So, and it bounce back. Let's say the light is spill here on this. Oops, let me go zoom out a little bit. So the light comes here and it goes back. Actually, it goes back and hit again at the this side of the surface. So, and that's how you see the little bit light here. So this is called reflected light. Basically, the light goes around here, and hit the surface here, and then you bounce back, and it lit up a little bit here at the edge of this. Let's put some more Payne's gray so you can tell like what I'm talking about. I hope you can see it, and there you go. So this is small things when you're dealing in when you're working in the watercolor, and you did the first wash and you're working on a small painting. This is, you need to be very careful. You just if you explain those things, it makes a big difference on your painting. So just remember how to. Let's get the other paper is dry already. So even wash, right? Spread the color all the way here and there and just leave it. The gradient wash, you put a pigment on the top and let the tilt the paper if you want, and let the wash travel, and get some very clean water and just scrub it here at the edge, and it will become a gradient wash or graded wash. And here, that's how you blend colors. You put a cadmium red, you put a Prussian blue, and a French ultramarine. You can use just a Prussian blue, or I would recommend you use a Prussian blue or phthalo blue. It works really good in blending. Here, this part is green, right? This is a green and this is a purple. Where is the color is mixing here? So purple and green, that's how you blend colors. So if you're doing a painting, a small painting, let's say here, if I put, let me do it. Take this off from here. Let's take this off. So let me get the color. See that my brush was all dry and now I got some moisture in it. So I put a little bit color here. I'm not taping anything, just to show you, because this is the back of the paper. I can use it a little bit. Now I will put some French ultramarine here. Maybe use some Prussian blue. Let's use some Prussian blue. Now done. So first the top wash, clean my brush, make sure the brush is all clean and nice, and I will pick up some cadmium orange, right? Get some cadmium orange, let it blend into the color, but don't mix too much. If I put too much color in here, then it will become, let's say if I put it here all the way here, this is what happened. It will become a little bit green color. That's what happened with people. So you don't want to do that. You just keep at the edge what we did previously by blending color. So I would put some more cadmium orange like that. And look at this, it's blending, but it's not, blue is there, and the yellow, the cadmium red is, cadmium orange is still there. Now I'll clean my brush. Let's zoom out a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Here my water, I clean my brush, make sure the brush is all dry now, and I will pick up some color from here like that. Just make a very smooth type of edge, and there you go, and color is gone. So let's dry this paper a little bit. There you go. So now the paper is kind of a little bit straight also because the I dried it up. So when you be careful when you're using a hair dryer, excuse me, it it push some water here and there, and see that it create a little bit cauliflower here, a little bit here, but don't worry about too much. If you working on the landscape, if you're working on the portrait or something, then it might be a problem, but since we were dealing in a landscape, it's not a big issue. You can get away with that. Now I will grab some burnt umber, and I will start putting right here on the horizon line. Let's make some hills or something, and get it a little bit shallow here. And I will put some Payne's gray here a little bit to get more dark color at the edges of this hills, and let go down. I don't have no reference photo. I'm just working out of my imagination because I do a lot of landscape sometimes. So here I did this, right? And you can go if you want more orange color here. You can, now it's dry, right? You can put a more orange color here on this wash and clean your brush, make some soft edges because the surface is dry, right? Surface is very dry, and you can put some more orange color. If you don't want it, you can just take it off, just push it out of the paper. If you think it's you put too much, you can just take it off. But be careful, okay? Just you don't want to abuse the paper too much, otherwise it will create problems for you. Now I have more colors in there, right? So I can go grab my bigger brushes like this, put some water here on the top because the paper is all dry, and I will grab some French ultramarine. I said I need more colors in my painting, so I would put some French ultramarine on the top here, more French ultramarine right on the top. You don't want to go here. If you start from the middle, it will make a problem for you. So go on the top, keep putting some dark color here, which is the French ultramarine I use. It's a nice color. I like this color, right? So here, done. I don't want to go too much, otherwise it'll create some problems. So if you want it more dark, you can go more dark. You can grab a smaller brush, pick up some more French ultramarine, very undiluted with the water, and you can put right on the top, right here, and create more dark type of sky if you want. If you like dark painting, that's fine. And since I have it on my brush, so I will put some here also. Just a little bit, create some more depth into my painting. There you go. And a little bit here also because it kind of look like uneven. I purposely left some white spaces. I always do actually. I always leave some white spaces here and there so I can use it for some other stuff, right? I can use, maybe you can make a little small structure here and there. Let's get rid of this out of here. Okay, so now I have most of the painting is done. I can go, I can put, I can let's dry this up. Let's dry this up. The dryer I have is very strong, so and see that it's all dry now. Paper is kind of a little straight, and what happened when the paper buckles up and it create a little bit kind of a arch here with the French ultramarine. So don't worry, you can put some, and there was some gum and from the paper, so I can go and I can put some more cadmium, the French ultramarine, and get this under control. that the blue that we just had it. And put some, clean your brush, make sure your brush is clean, and create some soft edge. If you don't want, that's fine too, just get rid of this from here. And now I will be working on the bottom. If you want to make it like a seascape, you can grab some Prussian blue and keep your brush here and make the very dry brush marks, right, quickly, like that. And bring some like a water here, and then you just drag your brush. See, keep your brush here and drag it quickly so it create a nice like a sparkle in the water. And clean your brush, no pigment, and then you go a little bit jewelry work here on the edge of this water. You could create some soft edges and bring it down here. Don't go too much, otherwise what happen, it will, you be going a little bit here, there, and you will be, the painting will be go a little out of control. You don't want to, just leave it whatever it comes out, and just leave it. You don't want to go and work over basically is it get overwork, and you create problems. I have some yellow here. I'm not sure what yellow is that. I will mix it up with cadmium red and get a little bit yellow ochre type of color. Actually, I have yellow ochre here. Let's use the yellow ochre. Mix it up with the burnt sienna. Tone it down because the yellow ochre is very intense type of color. Get some water in it, and then I will put some here, a little bit at the edge. I'm not putting into the water. Let's get some white. Let the foam of this water, and don't let it mix the colors here. You are making a little bit hard edge here between this water and the yellow ochre and the burnt sienna mix. I have some raw sienna also. I can use raw sienna here. Let's get some ridges going into the water. Just don't make a like a arch or something here. Just get some more realistic look, and put some at the edges, and keep this white for the foam. Okay, and get some French ultramarine at the edge, the in the foreground. I would put a little bit French ultramarine, so it bring more contrast to your painting. And I will put some French ultramarine at the on the foreground, and it create a little bit. Let's put some burnt sienna also here, and get some more contrast to your painting. Those things, when you do those things, although it's if you maybe it's not in your a reference photo or something, but that will create a nice it create more contrast in your painting. Let's get rid of this. I don't know where these guys are coming from. Let's get this out of here. There you go, gone now. So see that simple painting. I back out the paper. People ask me, can you paint on the other side of the paper? Yes, you can, because you won't get the results what you get here on the front, but you will get a decent result on the back of the paper also. So I have this done, right? I can dry the paper up. Let's dry the paper up, because I need to do some doodling. I'm going to put a boat here, or maybe a person walking or something, or maybe some bird here, maybe a moon here with the white color. So I'm going to dry this wash. Okay, done. Now your structure of the painting is ready. You said you decide what are you gonna do with this? If you don't like this, I can go get some burnt umber or burnt sienna or Van Dyke brown, sepia color, and just get rid of this from here. Create some more depth into your painting. Just put it like that. Just an extra thing. I don't want to do that, but just to show you what can be done if you by mistake you spill the color into the other. But like I said, keep it simple. Don't overwork your painting. If you overwork your painting, and this will create problems for you. So now I have a nice blending here, right, with the cadmium orange. I put an initial wash of cadmium orange, then I energize more. I put another wash of cadmium orange on the top of the dry wash. Here is still I'm again having a problem because of the maybe because of the back of the paper, but I put some French ultramarine, bring some more contrast in the sky, let the French ultramarine blend into the cadmium orange layer. I put some burnt umber or burnt sienna or some. You can go and put some cadmium orange also, so create some more, like a glaze it a little bit. If it is too dark for you, you can put some cadmium orange like that. Glaze it, or maybe, or better yet, you can go and just blend this color in into the cadmium orange and get this. If it is too black, you can just lift the colors. You can go just drag your brush and lift the colors from here. If you think it's too dark and you don't like it, you can go lift the color. Make sure your brush is very clean, and that's how you lift the colors. And take this off the edge. You don't need the edge. You can take this off. But I don't touch my painting too much because see the white, the first layer of the cadmium orange, I really want to keep it. It looks really good. And then you have another cadmium orange layer. So here cadmium orange first wash is peaking. So once you try to extend these mountains here and there, then this will be gone, which is the beauty of your painting. And unconsciously you working here, right? Try to fix this problem for you, and you don't like the dark color, and you try to lift some colors here by just putting some water and this and that, and this will be gone, that the first layer of the cadmium orange. Okay, anyway, let's get some burnt umber. I will do some spatter here. I got some burnt umber in my brush, right? And I will just go create some. If you are, I would keep something on the other side of the painting like that, right? Keep the block or whatever, and you just keep it here, right? And then you do the spatter. You do the spatter and create some nice texture onto the foreground, which is the sand or whatever. So done. Okay, let me zoom in. Okay, here, see, that's too much, right? It's kind of, it was spilled here because I was kind of sloppy, and then I will put some, like, little bit wash, clean water, and then I will just smudge it a little bit because I don't like it. It's too much. Yeah, in the foreground it's fine, but for this part, I don't like it. So anyway, just to show you what can be done, you have to be careful. I can go get my white color because I don't need this spatter here. So I will go grab some white color, which is I always explain. This is what I use, white color made by some company called Shanahan or something. This is what the product is. And you can go and put some and just wipe it off. That's the spatter you did, right? A little bit water into the jar, and very opaque color. It overrides these spatter from the your painting. But don't do too much, otherwise your painting get chalky and it will be a problem, right? So You don't want to do too much. Everything blending, if you do too much blending, then it will create problem. If you do too much spatter, it will create some problem. If you put too much white and you said, I like it, you know what, it's creating a nice effect here, and you keep doing it, then it will be a problem for you. So like that, see right here, I can just create some foam here, which I don't need it, right? Like, but I have a color in my brush, so I said, okay, you know what? And it looks good too, and it's easy to do. So, and but same time, you are creating problem for yourself too. Here, okay, done. I don't want to do too much. Let's clean the brush, zoom out a little bit here, and now I will go grab some Payne's Gray, mix it up, get a nice diluted gray color, and I will start putting right here underneath that wash. I put it the white wash, and then I just create some depth into that foam, right? You need to, that's, see, this is how you control the light. That's how you bring the depth into your painting, what I explained earlier, which is on the back. No, it's in my sketchbook. Actually, let me show you. All everything is related, so anywhere you apply that knowledge, it's all here. So here we did the light, right? And now this this foam is creating a shadow, so I'm putting a little bit dark, little bit light gray color here underneath. I got Payne's Gray and put some more water in it, and you can put a little bit underneath where I put a white, and it's creating a nice like a nice, you know, depth, what it looks like, that the foam on the water, right at the edge of the water. Okay, so done. Most of the painting is done. Let me just dry my brush because I'm going too fast. I have to make sure these brushes are dry. These are Squirrel 100% squirrel brush, mob brush. It's made by No.4, made by Rosemary and Co. Maybe you guys are, thinking what type of brush is this. So just to let you know, this is a brush I'm using today. I use it sometimes for bigger washes, and this is the Rosemary and Co. So I think it's 5 by 6 dagger brush. No, smaller. I think it's a 1/4 inch dagger brush I use all the time. I have another dagger brush. This is I think this is a 5 by 6 or 1 inch. I use it so much that all the markings are gone. So these are all made by Rosemary and Co. If you want to order, you can order online. It's up to you. I like these brushes. I'm not endorsing any company here. So let's put it here. This is not a topic for today's class. So I will close the white, put it here. Now the painting is almost done. If you say I want to get more out of my painting, so I will grab my white color, right? Get some nice opaque white, and I will put maybe a sun here, just put it. Remember, if you put uh, white on the light surface, it won't show. So if I put it white here, right, it won't show. But if you put it on the dark surface, then it will show right away. So I will put it right a little bit darker, cadmium orange, and it's there. And then you can create some, like a on the water also with the white, with same white color. You can go and create some shadow here on the water also of that moon. So just align it, and put some streaks here, there, with the same white color, and it creates a little bit illusion of a shadow of this moon or sun, whatever, sunset. So that's how you do. See this painting? I don't like this the dark mountain here. So I'm gonna lift some colors. The time is almost over, but it's okay. Let's grab this dark colors, right? They're too dark. Let's pick up some here. Here also. Okay. Now I will go and let's quickly draw something with the brush. Let's zoom in and I'm using a burnt umber. I will put a boat here. Let's because it's now so far it's very calm painting, right? Blinding colors, hard edges, how to create a light, which I explained to you already, how to create the sparkle in the water by just dragging a brush, although you have a little bit more water, but if you go too fast on the paper and control the wash, then it will create some sparkle you don't need to do with the white color here. And now I will put a boat here. I'm not going to put right here on the foreground for the sake of the composition. I will keep it so much so it won't be too much on my painting because it's a smaller painting, right? I will keep it under control, the size of the boat, and maybe I'll put some more here to create some more, you know, for the sake of composition. So I will put right on the ground. I'm not going to put in the water. So I will put the boat is parked here on the surface. Let's create a boat, nice boat here, like a rural village scene. And I will make a little bit tilted on towards me and bring those rafters or whatever in there, right? And here, same color, I dip in my brush into the water, and I wanna every time you wanna get the wash a little bit lighter, you get some water. Let me just zoom out a little bit so you can see the water also here. So every time you need some water, make the wash a little bit lighter, you go dip your brush, mix it up on your palette. Right, let's mix it up here so you can see. Mix it up, and then because I need to create some casting shadow, right? A little bit, not too much because there's not enough light coming, but I will create some so it create a little bit depth and it shows that the boat is sitting on the ground, not just flying in the air or something. And I will grab some more Payne's gray, a little bit Payne's gray, and just put underneath the edge of the where this boat is touching to the ground, so it could create more depth. And if you think it's too much here, you can just make it a little bit more sketch, and then I will put a mass of the board. Like you can go, you can bring it from here. You can bring it from here. Whatever you think you like it. So I would prefer I would put it from here. Not too long, otherwise it will look abnormal. I can go up to here. That's fine, but don't go too much, otherwise it will show, right? And I will put a little bit hull here. Something here, the rope, maybe something here with hardness of boat. Let's put a rope here. Just quickly, like let me zoom in so you can see. Oops, oh. I put my actually this is I use the phone on my for my videos, so okay, here back again. So here, more zoom in right here. So you, when you're making a rope or that type of marks on your painting, go quickly. If you can go easy, let's say I will put another uh, rope here. I'm gonna delete it, so I can go slowly, slowly. That's fine too, but it create a very even mark, right? You don't want, you need something quick, like you put it here, you put a mark here, touch your brush, and then you go quick like that. So that's how you create. And if it is breaking up in the middle, that's fine. It's okay. So, and what I do sometimes, I just go drop something here, make the rope sitting on the ground like that. So let's get this out of here. I don't need that. Let's delete that rope. And let's put some wash here, a burnt umber and cadmium orange wash. Let's create put another layer or something. Let's delete this. Like that. You don't want to block when you are fixing a problem. don't block these the layers on the first when you started, right? Basically, then what happened? It you are all the hard work will be gone. So you don't want to block all these layers from just put a I see I fix it here, and I still keeping it for the layers from the bottom. So I'll grab some nice cadmium red, and let's make a little flag here, just excitement, and maybe a trim on the board, put a red cadmium red. There you go. And let's get some burnt umber, and I will put another board here, just more, make the painting look more busy. Right? Not too dark as this one, just a little bit, let's put a hull here, just a little bit, not too much. You can do another one if you want, like this, right? And maybe some in the water also if you want, right? There you go. So, and now I will grab again my white of the poster color, and opaque white, very opaque. What time is it? Okay, we'll be okay. So here, use the opaque white, and I will get some white color on this rope, like that, a little bit, and put on the top of the rope, right? A little bit on the trim of this board, little bit marked, not too much. So we need some more depth, and the mass of this board, I'll put a little bit white, like this, and maybe here, there, the board here, and then you can put one here, just a small mark. You don't need to be very precise. And get some water. I dip my brush a little bit, the tip of the brush. Let me show you. Hold on. Oops. Here, see that water? And I go a little bit tip, and I have some water, and so I can get a little bit more diluted type of water, the white color, and I will put some here. There you go. Maybe let's delete this rope, is too much. I don't like this rope too much. Just for the composition point of view, it looked very bad. So not too bad. I mean, like, I don't like it anyway. So you can, if you want, you can delete it. I deleted with the opaque white, and I will smudge it a little bit. And yeah, that's it. Painting is done. I will just grab some more French ultramarine, strain, and you can put it, clean your brush, right? Take out some pigment if you don't want too much, and I will put some here also. So it creates a little bit more depth, not blocking the previous layers, and that's it. So almost done. I will grab some burnt umber again, and I can put some birds here if you want. You can create some more energy, bring some more energy to your painting. One more, I think. Let's put one more here. Grouping is very important. You want to make sure that you don't want to put too many birds at one place. I will put one more here maybe, and a smaller. Okay, let's get some, dip my brush if you need some washer, because if you think it's too dry your brush, then you go, and one more here. That's it. I don't want to do too much, because otherwise it will be, and maybe one more here on the, there you go. That's it. Done. Painting is done. You can grab some now you can highlight it. You can grab a nice green color. This I have in my palette. You can just put a little bit green color on that board, the energizer board, a little bit, right? And put some green color here also, maybe a flag here, maybe flag here, here, and maybe some get some white color, and maybe some, put some numbers here, like a 1 2 3 or something, 4 5 something. So here, Uh, I mean, like you can go on and on and on, so I wouldn't do too much to be honest with you. Just leave it here, and that's it. So that's today a painting done with the. Let me go recap for the class today. If somebody joined late, then I will explain quickly what we done today. So this is a painting we did. Let me zoom in. I hope my phone won't go. Let's get rid of this out of here. So this is a painting we done today with the knowledge of how to blend colors, which is the back of this here, flat wash, right? And let's zoom out a little bit here. Okay, so flat wash by just spreading the color on the paper evenly, right? The gradient wash, put a dark more color here, pigment here, and let it bleed towards, and keep blending with the clear water, and let the wash get it run down. If you want, you can just keep it tilted and it will run. That's what I did here. And the mixing colors, I put cadmium red, I put some French ultramarine, and Prussian blue, and it blends in. It create a nice purple color, and it blends here, and it create a nice green color here on the border of these two where they're mixing. If you push too much, then it will become a gray. If I mix, put red, blue, and yellow all together, it will become a gray color. I hope you understand. I will explain how to mix colors next week actually. Okay, removing the paper from the block, which would keep it flat. Well, the I just showed like how why you how you can remove it, but block itself is when the paper comes in a block, you don't need to tape it. That's why they create the blocks. Let me see. Let me grab the block again quickly. So the block retain the paper straight flat on the block itself, right? So if I put a pair of water or something, it won't buckle up, because I was showing how to detach the paper from the block, and since it was loose, so I paint sometimes not pasting the paper on the board itself, like see I did here, right? So I was showing how to prime the paper. So I had a loose sheet. I paste it here, and that's how you keep not buckling up the paper. When you put a water, it creates some wave, especially on the 90 pound and 120 pound paper. I hope this explained, but this is 120 pound, I think 120 pound paper. It retains its shape very good, and I didn't use too much water on the paper. So if I would use soak this paper too much, then it will start. See, it has some it got a wavy paper, but you can put this, or you can put a cloth on the top, and you can iron it, and it will keep its shape again. Not exactly 100%, but it will be straight, a little bit straight, not like this, right? It just has some buckling here, right? Here, there. Okay. So this is what okay, Rosemary and Co. Squirrel brush, dagger brush, nice. Okay, thank you. That was fantastic. Okay, any question, please, you can leave it on the chat, or I can answer later on, which is not a problem for me. But I hope you understand that's a basic of watercolor. This and let me grab my sketchbook. So here, let's zoom out a little bit. So this is the light. Then soon as you create the light, then the texture comes in, right? Like how I can smudge it with my finger, and I can make it softer, right? This is texture, right? The shade, basically people call shade, but it is a texture. You can use anything else. You can use cross edge. I use edge most of the time like that with a pencil. And then if you do you can do cross edging, then you can put another cross edge to make this surface darker. Let's say you need a dark here, so you can put one edge, then you another edge, you make it dark. What I do, I just dark with my pencil. I go edge and I keep uh, putting my pencil on the top, and it get darker and darker. I put my pressure on the pencil and lift the pressure down, 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 down. It get lighter. That is the gradient into the with the pencil or charcoal. That's how you do. Same thing here with the watercolor. It's same thing here with the pencil. So you dark and you lift the pressure out of the pencil. You keep going, 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 and that will create the same thing, a gradient mark I would call, and this is a gradient wash. And if I go like this, keep the one pressure of the pencil on the paper, not lifting the pressure. This is a flat wash. This is a flat mark here. So same thing. And you blending, there's no blending because we're dealing in a monochrome. But here is the colors. That's why the color blend, because here is no, and you can blend two marks, but it just you can smudge it to blend two marks like that. Here you can smudge it and bring it together like this. So in watercolor, that's how you do. And control the light. So here, highlight here, highlight here. The dark value, how to make the color darker, which is you can use a Payne's gray or you can use a blue color, any color that makes the existing red color, make it darker. Here, highlight here because the light is coming from here, the shadow. The cone has a different reflection as compared with the sphere. So you need to understand this also, how the light look like when you working on the different objects. All right, and the casting shadow, of course. So it's all applied here. Blending colors, cadmium orange, French ultramarine. I put a little bit color, Van Dyke brown or burnt umber here, and get some hard edges on the mountain. I soften it out. I lift some colors. I put a mark here with create some sparkle in the water with the Prussian blue, because I don't want to use the French ultramarine. I want to make variation here in the water, so it looks like a water. And then I put some yellow ochre and the raw sienna and burnt sienna mix here on the foreground and the sand or whatever. And then after all this done, I create some sketches like a boat and some boats in the background also, so you can create more depth. And I put a moon or sun, whatever you call, with a white color, and I create some reflection. Okay, so I hope you guys understand what I did here, and just work on the washes. Make sure that you are, and use a good paper. Please use a good paper. Order the paper if you don't have. Use a good paper, good colors, and if you can get a good brushes also. That this mob brush made by Rosemary and Co. See that it's dry now because I have take out all the moisture. Otherwise, what happens if you leave it unattended with the water in it? It gets into the inside the brush, and it create problem for you, which I did actually. You can see the water is in there. These are expensive brush. You don't want to lose these brushes, so make sure when you're not using, take out all the moisture. So this retains more water. That's the only thing about these brushes, because they're very soft. You can tell, see that how soft they are. I mean, like so much bristles in there, but as soon as I put in the water, it come back to its original position like that. And if I go clean it up, and it create a nice tip also, so you can do a smaller work with these brushes. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the class, and I will keep repeating. Next week I will explain the light again, and then I will explain how to use the brush stroke, like how to work with the different type of brushes and create a different brush strokes also, which I did on this painting. If you can see up here, I used some brush stroke to create a second layer on the foreground. Okay, and I'll see you next week with the same class. Please bring some more friends so it can help me and help the channel also, so I can produce more classes, more videos for you guys so you can learn what is watercolor. And I will start soon as I finish this program or class, watercolor. We're gonna jump into the acrylic landscape. That would be the next acrylic landscape. Okay, so see you next week, and you take care.